Denver, Colorado plays host to the U.S. Lacrosse WDIA Championship. Six-time defending champion Cal Poly ready to defend the dynasty against the Navy Midshipmen. Navy's final game as a club lacrosse team, and the Midshipmen have the opportunity to go out as champs, matched up against the undisputed power of club lacrosse, Cal Poly, for the U.S. Lacrosse Women's Division Intercollegiate Associates Championship. I'm Carter Blackburn with Jenny Kavnar. You may know the sport of women's lacrosse. You may know these schools, these teams, but this is a special championship.
And Carter, calling it club lacrosse, you better not say that to one of these WDIA players. They consider themselves collegiate athletes. They work hard to be here, and now 188 teams across the country are represented in this league. Only 16 make it to the national championship tournament, and it's been Cal Poly that's led the way the last 7 years. Every year this tournament has been played, it has been the Cal Poly Mustangs claiming the championship trophy. Now 24-0 in WDIA tournament play. Last year they won the title with the help of the Jones sisters, Janelle and Brittany, and guess who's back in 2007? Well, adding sophomore Brittany Jones last year was one of the best things that could happen to Cal Poly in the midfield. Her speed, her strength, her tenacity, and of course her connection to sister Janelle Jones. Now Janelle's a senior, and you better bet that she does not want to leave Cal Poly without her fourth straight national title. Janelle Jones leading the attack line for the Cal Poly Mustangs, along with Jennifer Bowe. But it's been the midfield led by Julie Friesen, who has been doing a lot of the damage last couple years for Cal Poly. Friesen's going to be taking the draws at the center position, and she can really aim and get them to her teammates. And she also comes up with the 50-50 ball. Ground balls are so important to Cal Poly in their dominance. Jamie Ootman on the defense had a great game in the semis in the win over Colorado State, playing in front of Carolyn Rupnick in goal. Rupnick, it's her first year on this varsity squad. Cal Poly has an A team and a B team, but she has not allowed an opponent to score in double digits all season long, and she has to give credit to her defense. Well, Cal Poly is going for their 7th consecutive national championship. Guess who's already done that? Cindy Timshaw, the head coach now of the Navy Midshipmen, the winningest collegiate lacrosse coach in women's lacrosse history. When you look at Timshaw's resume, it's hard not to see why Navy shouldn't win this. She has won 7 consecutive with Division I Maryland, and Navy was so smart to bring her in as Navy's transitioning out of the WDIA and into Division I lacrosse. But not only has she elevated Navy's game and brought them back to the championship game for the first time since 2001, she's elevated the entire WDIA. Already bringing along talented young players in the Navy program like Erin Rollick. Well, Erin Rollick is a freshman, and Timshaw says she's a solid player all around. To say the least, she is as aggressive as they come. She scored 4 goals against UC Santa Barbara in the semifinals to get them here today. For the championship game, the Navy starting lineup, it's Valerie Capillere, the leading attacker for the Midshipmen. But yet again, the midfield may be the key to this game. Elise Chapdelaine, she will have the speed, and her counterpart, Amanda Towie, she's a points leader right now for Navy with 110 goals coming into the tournament. The Navy defense led by Katie Neff, the senior, playing in front of Natalie Blandon, who gets the start in goal today for the Midshipmen. It was a smart move on Navy's part. Vanessa Nieves has been switching off with Blandon in the tournament, but Blandon's experience is what's going to count today for Navy. Her save percentage is at 55. The goal for Natalie Blandon and Navy is to etch their name on that trophy and end the run of Cal Poly dominance. The opening draw is next. Lacrosse on CSTV is brought to you by U.S. Lacrosse. U.S. Lacrosse, one for all. Into the Rocky Mountains in Denver, Colorado for the U.S. Lacrosse WDIA Championship matchup between Cal Poly attacking their 7th straight national championship. Every time this tournament's been played, it's been the Mustangs from San Luis Obispo claiming the championship after an opening round win over Minnesota, 19-4 victory over Michigan State in the quarters, squeaking past Colorado State, 12-9 in the semis. Meanwhile, Navy's road to the championship game, a win over Oregon in the first round,
then a 1-goal win over Colorado in the quarters, an 11-8 win over UC Santa Barbara in the semifinals to reach today's championship game. Head coach of the Cal Poly Mustangs, his second year as head coach, fifth working with the team, is Eric Thomas, who is a Navy veteran, served 6 years in the United States Navy on the USS Enterprise, and now here he is coaching in his second straight championship game as head coach of the Mustangs, coaching against the U.S. Naval Academy.
Carter, some keys to the game today. Cal Poly really needs to get the 50-50 ball. And number 2, they need to utilize their speed, but know when to pass. The altitude has affected them a bit this week, and for the 4th game in 4 straight days, they're going to be tired if they try to rely on their fast midfield. For Navy, on the other hand, speed is the key. They're going to have to attack that zone that Cal Poly's running. Keep sending midfielders, keep sending attack through the zone and try to break it. And midfield transition, look for fast break opportunities.
5,280 feet, Denver, Colorado, above sea level, and it has been a long week for the athletes on the field today. But they told us earlier today it's a lot about adrenaline when you get to the championship game, adrenaline and pride. The opening draw, Aaron Rollick and Julie Friesen. It will be controlled by Navy on the ground ball pickup in midfield, and now taken right back by Cal Poly. It's Caitlin Chandler who gets the ground ball on the opening draw.
They practice that all season long. Right off the draw from Friesen, they have to pick up that 50-50 ball to get an opportunity to set up what they want to do in attack.
Jennifer Bowe will set up the attack from behind the cage, the senior from Menlo Park, California, right next to Palo Alto and the Stanford campus.
We talked so much about Janelle Jones in the open on offense, how she's really kind of running this team, also her sister Brittany, but Jennifer Bowe is the quarterback of this offense. She'll be calling the plays from behind the cage. She was injured in the WWL championship game against Santa Barbara, so she's not quite 100%, but she's the glue that keeps this offense together for sure.
Janelle Jones dodging inside. Now she'll flip it back behind the cage. This is Jennifer Bowe waiting for a cutter in front of the cage. Back out to Brittany Jones, the sophomore Jones sister from Poway, California. Brittany Jones dodges in, and a whistle as Jones dodges to the cage. Shooting space violation.
Yeah, shooting space violation means that the defender's caught right in front of where the attacker is going to shoot, and then now causing an 8-meter penalty shot.
Great opportunity for Brittany Jones. She goes up high to put Cal Poly on the board in the opening 2 minutes of play.
Exactly what Cal Poly wanted. They were very patient in offense, a minute and a half throwing the ball around. And right now you'll see Brittany going top shelf right above the goalie.
Brittany Jones all-tournament team last year. She and Janelle had 4 second-half championship goals versus Michigan, part of a 7-0 run to win the Cal Poly 2006 championship. And it's Brittany Jones getting the scoring started for the Mustangs in 07. Second draw of the game. Battle for this one. Navy finally controls the second draw. It's Toey coming away with it. Amanda Toey, and the first chance to see the Navy attack. Across the attack zone, it will roll out. Last touch by Navy, which means it's Cal Poly ball.
Hard boundary rule change a couple years ago has really sped up the women's game on transition. There's no endless boundaries, so they have to have a turnover on that possession.
Navy came out of there as if they had possession of it, but the correct call by the officials ruling it's Cal Poly ball. So the Mustangs will try to clear through the Navy defense in the open field. Jennifer Bowe has it checked out of her stick, rolling across midfield.
Here's that aggressive midfield we talked about. Navy really attacking them, trying to get a double team to get the turnover. Ground ball. Situations like that, you just want somebody to actually go in there, scoop through the whole entire cluster, and just pick up the ball and go to goal.
Well, Jenny, both these teams told us when we asked what the keys of the game were. What did they say? They say the 50-50 balls, the ground balls. Whoever has possession in this game is likely going to take the trophy.
Absolutely. Ground balls win and lose a game, and we saw that all week long throughout the tournament. I'm the assistant coach at UCLA, and I will tell you time and time again that's something we work on consistently. There, Brittany Jones with a nice little poke in. Brittany Jones, that's 7 goals so far in the tournament. That would make it her 8th this week.
Off the assist from Jennifer Bowe.
Bowe is clutch. She just gets it right over her defender, gets it somewhere where Brittany can actually reach in with her stick, and she just kind of taps it right by the goalie.
2 goals in the opening 3 minutes for Cal Poly, both from Brittany Jones, the sophomore who's played alongside her sister Janelle now for 2 years, a championship last season for Cal Poly. Eric Thomas says that Brittany Jones could have played Division I lacrosse at a lot of levels, but Janelle had a great experience at Cal Poly, and Janelle halfway jokingly said, well, Brittany said all along she wasn't going to follow me to Cal Poly, and then decided you got a pretty good thing going with the Mustangs, so now it's Brittany and Janelle playing alongside each other for one more game.
That was a check into the body right there. You'll see a lot of these whistle calls in the midfield, or just girls trying to attack the stick, trying to get the ball back, but again, in women's lacrosse, there is a sphere around the head and then, of course, within the body zone that you can't reach into with your stick.
Molly Baker dodging in for Cal Poly, and obviously the Mustangs dominating possession in the early minutes of this game.
Yeah, that's exactly what Eric Thomas wants. He wants them to get settled down on offense, collect their thoughts, get going. In the semifinal game against Colorado State, that's one thing that they didn't have was control of the ball, and you could see on their faces the frustration when they didn't actually get it.
Push called against Navy, called against Aaron Rollick going for the ground ball, so Cal Poly gets it right back. Utman into the attack zone. She'll give it up to Janelle Jones. So the senior Jones sister trying to set up the Cal Poly attack. Guarded by Elise Chapdelaine. Passes out, now looking for the cutter in front. Friesen makes it 3-0 Cal Poly, 4.5 minutes in.
Here it comes again. That's a great job by Janelle and Brittany up top. They kind of fake with the defense, keep the ball right up top. There it is, that pass through the middle. Friesen had a great cut, and more importantly, she knew her spacing, so she was kind of passing the goal. She decided to turn her body right around, and a nice little shovel shot, little bounce shot right past the goalie.
Friesen, the senior out of Bedford, Massachusetts. That's a 5th goal of this tournament. She was championship game and tournament co-MVP last year when Cal Poly beat Michigan in the championship. And cause for concern here now for Cindy Timshaw and Navy. Yeah, you just saw Timshaw looking over there at her goalie and Natalie Blandon and kind of wondering maybe same thing she did against Santa Barbara. Should we go ahead and try and put someone else in there? Navy takes the draw, but Katie Neff has it checked out of her stick by Jamie Udman, who drew rave reviews for her defensive effort against Colorado State in the semis. Chandler attempting to clear. Rolling loose and scooped up by Rudham for Navy. A bit of a sloppy game in the midfield right now. No one's really kind of controlling and possessing that ball through their cradles. They're kind of hanging their sticks out and allowing that check to come in. Really only the second time we've seen the midshipmen able to set up their attack nearly past 5 minutes in now. Yeah, and they like the fast break, but here in a settled attack, especially against the zone, we'll talk about time and time again, a way to break it is you really want to keep ascending attackmen, and they kind of have a few in the middle you'll see hanging out, trying to cut in and out and make something happen. That right there, just a bad angle shot. So he takes the first shot on goal. It's backed up by Morton as it rolls out. Again, with the hard boundaries on a shot, it's whoever's first out of bounds towards the ball. Here they just called a little timeout because the ball went down towards the creek. Here at Peter Barton Lacrosse Stadium on the campus of University of Denver. Every other game, the first 31 have been played at the Dick's Sporting Goods Complex here in the Denver area. This one on the campus of University of Denver. Nice defense inside after the cutter. Rudham got off a shot right on the crease. Great save by Rupnick right there. You can tell she's really aggressive, and maybe it's a little bit of that experience from the defensive unit right now coming into this. They're just playing all out. Rupnick gets her first save. Friesen clears it for Cal Poly. Here they go again in that settled attack situation.
That's what you want to look for, is that feed inside.
Checks inside, knock it loose, no whistle. And now there's the out of bounds whistle as Winters.
That's a tough call right there for Winters. She was aggressively heading towards the sideline, and she knew she was about to get out, so she tried to flick the ball back in. Fortunately, she stepped on the line a little too soon.
Cal Poly 3 shots on goal. All of them had gotten past Natalie Blanton in goal. And a 3-0 Cal Poly lead here in the championship game, the Collegiate Club Lacrosse Championship, U.S. Lacrosse WDIA Championship game. The top seed Cal Poly against the number 2 seed Navy Midshipmen. Janelle Jones dodging in, and a whistle as she gets off the shot.
Again, a shooting space call. The defense just getting caught right in that area in front of Janelle Jones. They have to come at an angle. You have to lead with your stick and come up. I explain a lot of times to girls, it's a lot like you have a rope tied around your waist and you have to extend out your arms and lead up that line.
This is how Cal Poly got its first goal. From Brittany Jones, this is Janelle Jones with a shot off the shooting space violation. Down low, the save by Blanton.
That's a huge confidence save for Blandon right there. She's had 3 quick goals scored on her in the game. To go down low and just get your stick right in front of it. Great confidence.
Cal Poly gets the ground ball, so the Mustangs reset the attack. Molly Baker on the goal line extended. Now we'll flip it behind the cage. What do you see defensively out of Navy here as they try to catch up with the cutter, but Janelle Jones sticks it through for a 4-0 Cal Poly lead. Timeout on the field, and Cal Poly off to a rocking start. The first 2 shots for Cal Poly. Goals from Brittany Jones, Friesen has one, and now Janelle Jones, a 4-0 Mustang lead. Cindy Timshaw calling the timeout after a 4-0 Cal Poly start. Everybody on the Mustang side said that when they start hot, they play that way throughout the game, and that is not what Timshaw and the Navy Midshipmen are hoping for, because it has been a red-hot start for the Cal Poly Mustangs. 4-0 less than 10 minutes in.
They're getting that 50-50 ball. They're getting draw control. They're really setting up their offense and doing what they know how to do. Again, yesterday in semifinals when they got caught behind Colorado State, they were out of their element. They were taken out of their game. Right here, they're definitely controlling it with their game.
Navy picks up this draw as Amanda Toey controls it. She's pushed out of bounds on the near sideline.
It's interesting, too, out of that timeout, Navy put in Vanessa Nieves as the new goalie, so they did want to make the change there and see what they can do now defensively.
Navy has only 1 shot on goal. Cal Poly now has 5, 4 of them past the starting goalie for Navy Blandon, so a 4-0 Navy lead. Jenny has said Navy likes to play an up-tempo game, but when you get down like this, do you have to control it a little bit in the attack zone just to get your tempo back?
Well, it's tough. They're fumbling the ball through the midfield, so they're not really getting girls up ahead to allow the numbers action and the fast break situation. So settling the ball may not be their normal style, but they're looking for feeds, and they're trying to get those cuts and, again, just break up the zone. But, again, the zone's so tough, and a nice rebound there to clear it up.
I believe I said Navy leading. Obviously, it's Cal Poly, a 4-0 lead right now. And the Mustangs running it through the midfield. This is Molly Sauer, who had the assist on the last goal. Scored by Janelle Jones. So working now against the new Navy goalie, Vanessa Nieves, who's alternated with Blandon throughout the tournament. It is Nieves, the sophomore from Long Branch, New Jersey, now in the cage for the midshipmen.
It's always interesting that first time down to see if Cal Poly gets a shot off on goal, if she can make a big save. Again, she made 10 saves against Santa Barbara to keep them in a game and actually take the lead in a game, only allowing 3 goals. Huge confidence boost for this Navy team who really needed some new energy.
Nieves was in goal yesterday at the end of the semifinal game when Navy closed out the win over UC Santa Barbara. However, Janelle Jones and Cal Poly just too hot for anybody in goal right now for Navy. That one slips past Nieves. A 5-0 Cal Poly start. Second straight for Janelle Jones.
Jones so tough to stop from that feed from behind. Nice little quick stick. Upper shelf, opposite stick side of the goalie. Boom, 20th goal of this tournament. She is on fire.
20th goal of the tournament for Janelle Jones, second straight. Her second in 3 seconds to make it 5-0 Cal Poly. And this is exactly what the Mustangs were hoping for in the first 10 minutes plus of the championship game. A dominating start for the dominating team in club lacrosse. Winning the draw again, Janelle Jones dodging in again. And now she'll flip it back out to Jennifer Bowe.
That was a good decision. She didn't have any, look on the goal. She was pushed way out to the side. Just settle it down. Continue to attack the Navy defense like they've been doing.
Julie Friesen at the top of the attack zone, dodging in against the Navy defense, and now she'll pull it back out. Flip to the goal line extended. This is Amber Curry, the freshman making a homecoming trip here. She's from Golden, Colorado, on the western side of the Denver area.
It's nice for her to get home. She got the start yesterday over Jackie Pugh, and she's just been working so hard as a freshman. I know coming home, it has to be exciting to see your family in the stands watching you.
One of the few Cal Poly mistakes there as it's nearly taken away by Jamie Howe. And it is Jamie Howe awarded possession, so a chance to clear here for Navy. Nieves loses it in the net as they attempt to clear, so a second chance.
Again, Cal Poly, after their Colorado State start in the semifinals, they got down in a nice, 4-0 lead down in the hole. Now they're up 5-0. They come out with a new confidence, a new aura. They knew yesterday being down. It was funny, Aaron, talking to the girls earlier, they said it was the first time we felt scared all season long. And they've been on this run, this consecutive run of being undefeated since last year's loss to Michigan.
It is now 28 straight wins for Cal Poly. They won their last 10 of 2006, including the redemption win over Michigan in the championship game. And now 21-0 in 2007.
That's just great defense. I mean, she's stick on stick as you're rolling through the crease, and you can get your stick on there enough to grab a little check and then get that 50-50 ball.
My math is off for Cal Poly. 31 straight wins. It was 18-0 coming into this tournament. 3 wins here makes it now 31 straight wins.
Yeah, you got to give them some respect where respect is due. Cal Poly leading in ground balls 9-5 right now. Turnovers 4-1 Navy. They need to learn to keep possession when they have it. Another out of bounds ball, and it'll stay Cal Poly's ball. Amber Curry will start this offensive set from behind the cage. Right now, they have all the time in the world, Carter. 16:55 left on the clock. They're up 5-0. No need to rush the offense right now. Just pass the ball around, keep it hot, give everyone some touches, and really just keep their confidence up. Try to make Navy work and continue to work down this defense.
See, I think Cal Poly slows it down a little bit with a 5-goal lead. Back into the stick of Brittany Jones, and now she'll flip it back out to Haley Saxton, freshman from Pleasanton, California. Over to Janelle Jones on the right side, looking for the pick, but as you said, not a lot of cutters right now for the Cal Poly Mustangs. Now on the second time around the attack zone, the pick's on the edge, looking for the cutter. Guess who? Brittany Jones, the sophomore, has 3 goals. Brittany has 3, Janelle has 2. The Jones sisters with 5 of Cal Poly's 6 goals to start the championship game.
Younger sister Brittany says, anything you can do, Sister Janelle, I can do better. I'm gonna get 3, you get 2. Nice roll off the pick. Again, Bowe with the feed. She's had so many assists this season and just been clutch for this offense. 55 assists coming into this tournament. And Jennifer Bowe added 11 more assists leading up to today. She has to have at least 3 or 4 right now.
That's 3 assists in the game for Jennifer Bowe. You got 1 for Sauer, and then
Friesen with the other Cal Poly goal, but it has been the Jones sisters. And the scary thing for women's lacrosse fans, especially around the ACC, is that there is another Jones sister in the pipeline.
Absolutely. The Jones dynasty, I'd like to call it. They all wish she was coming to Cal Poly, but the youngest Jones, Brandy Jones, is going to be headed to Maryland next year, thanks to assistant coach actually from Navy, Kelly Coppage. She was Brandy's coach in high school, and she got her into Maryland, got her through the ranks there, and now she's at Navy trying to lead this team into Division I next year.
And both Janelle and Brittany say that the best of the three is probably Brandy Jones, is going to go from Northern California all the way to Maryland to play for new Terrapin head coach Kathy Nelson-Reese.
Yeah, Janelle was a little hesitant at first to want Brandy to go out there. You know, she'd like to keep that Cal Poly dynasty alive, but you know, it's great to see these kids from the West Coast get their opportunity at Division I on the East Coast. It just shows how much lacrosse is growing on the West.
Well, and Janelle talked about that in her family, and the credit that West Coast lacrosse and Western lacrosse now has across the country, including the elite Eastern schools like the University of Maryland, where now Navy head coach Cindy Timshaw won 8 national championships at the NCAA Division I level.
Absolutely, you have to credit that a little bit to these Jones sisters too. Janelle's one of the first on this Cal Poly team that actually played 4 years of high school lacrosse. Some of these girls before in the 2001, 2002 class, they started picking up sticks when they got into college, and yet still made it all the way to the title game.
Mentioned Kathy Nelson-Reese now taking over at University of Maryland for Cindy Timshaw. That was after she had a great run right here at the University of Denver. Cal Poly trying to win their 7th straight WDI National Championship. The championship game for club lacrosse has been won every year since the inception of this tournament in 2001 by the Cal Poly Mustangs.
And you asked these girls if they could define Cal Poly lacrosse earlier today. I was talking to Janelle Jones and Julie Friesen. Julie just said, we're hated. That's how you define it. I mean, really, to get these girls to bond together, they call it a sisterhood. You know, you have to spend time off the field, on the field at practice. These girls don't get paid to play. They don't get a scholarship. They're not recruited. They choose to go to this school. They pay the money out of their pocket for their club dues, for their travel fees. They work just as hard off the field raising all this money as they do on the field.
Illegal pick called against Cal Poly.
This is a good opportunity for Navy to try and actually get a fast break opportunity, get the ball down the field. Capillary's hanging out in the midfield waiting to make a cut.
Meg Foley on the clear. Checked at midfield. Foley dodges through the Cal Poly defense. And Maggie Martin charges in for Navy.
That's a smart decision by Martin. She just wanted to get the ball behind, get it to X, get something settled. They just need to get a goal and get something going. And if the fast break opportunity is not there, there's no need to force it at this point. Plenty of time left in the game.
Cal Poly's been tough in the midfield on the clears. They haven't let Navy bring it up without significant obstruction yet. Three-second violation called against Navy.
It's actually a 3-second call against Cal Poly in the defense. Yeah, if you're hanging out in the arc there, they're going to call you on that.
Toey down low, save made by Rupnick. Ground ball picked up by Navy. Second chance for the midshipmen, but it's Cal Poly chasing the ball around midfield. And now the ground ball scooped up by Utman. Jamie Utman whips it out of there. Navy has a chance to get it right back. Key battle for the ground ball here. And a whistle will stop play with just under 12 to go in the first half.
It's going to be an empty stick check on Cal Poly. And at this point, you have to wonder, about 21 or a little bit more than that has gone by in the game. These girls are running up and down the field, and when you turn the ball over so much in the midfield, it's really wearing their energy. Altitude has to play a factor now too, and not many subs have occurred.
Rollick trying to get something going for Navy in the attack zone. Works it back out to Chapter Lane. Now this is Aaron Rollick, who in the first round against Oregon, 8 goals, 4 assists, 4 more goals, semis yesterday versus Colorado State. The freshman from Bel Air, Maryland, has had an outstanding WDIA tournament.
Another 3-second call by Cal Poly. This is one of the biggest troubles with the zone that they run, is they can get caught out of position at any time, and if you're not marked on a girl, it's a chance for someone to score. Mary Ruttman scoring there.
First goal for Navy comes from Mary Ruttam to finally end the Cal Poly run after 6 straight goals, 5 of them coming from the Jones sisters, Janelle and Brittany, to stake the Mustangs to a 6-1 lead. In the U.S. Lacrosse WDIA National Championship game, Cal Poly on Navy. Carter Blackburn with Ginny Kavnar. Joined in the booth by Ann Carbonetti, U.S. Lacrosse Women's Division Director, who's overseen this tournament. Now game 32 of this tournament all weekend long in Denver. Of course, rave reviews for the 2007 WDIA tournament. And looks like Denver's been a pretty good host city for this tournament.
They've been fantastic. This is the first time we've been out to Denver, and we can't top it. We've heard from everyone, best yet.
4 cities in the last 4 years for the WDIA tournament. I know Denver's a favorite. Weather's always a problem. How has it been so far this week? It seems pretty sunny to me.
It's been, I mean, beautiful. With today, I think is probably the best day with a little cloud coverage. It's been quite warm for the fans. We've got record numbers here. Great weather, great turnout.
You have schools, obviously, part of the goal of U.S. Lacrosse is to grow the sport all across the country. You have schools here in the championship game. You're represented by your East Coast from Annapolis, Maryland, from your West Coast, Cal Poly from San Luis Obispo, and Georgia and BYU, and all across the nation, 16 here. Of course, nearby Colorado and Colorado State, both represented as well, the UCLA Bruins. But point being here with Club Lacrosse, growing the sport across the nation, not refining it to your traditional women's lacrosse hotbeds.
That's right, and then especially with this constituency. I mean, we try to bring this event to non-traditional areas because, again, these are the teams that Jenny mentioned earlier that they're doing all they can. They're playing for the love of the game, you know, and these are the folks that are really growing the game from the ground up.
Janelle Jones and Cal Poly, another chance after Janelle picks up that ground ball. This is Sauer charging in, and a save made by Nieves. Now visiting with Cindy Timshaw a little bit after we see the nice save from Nieves.
Sauer picks up the ground ball, just gets a little too anxious, and it actually floats right over the goal.
So
close to a save.
Yeah, take away that save from Nieves. Thought she got a stick on it.
A save for Sauer.
Cindy Timshaw visiting with her about the growth that she has seen in the women's lacrosse game, and obviously excited to have her here at the WDIA championship this year before they move up to the NCAA Division I level. But she has been through it all, this sport growing from very small sport to now national, supported across the nation through the club level and, of course, through the NCAA level as well. But she certainly had great things to say about the WDIA tournament this year.
And what's it like for Navy to now be represented and going on to Division I? I know Northwestern did it a couple years back. How is it for the WDIA and their growth?
I mean, it hasn't seemed to stop the growth. We're at record numbers this year. Over 180 teams joined the WDIA. I think it's something that a lot of teams strive for. But really, the history of the WDIA club team at Navy is quite rich. And while we're seeing them go away, you know, we anticipate growth in the WDIA despite teams moving up to D1 and D2, D3.
U.S. Lacrosse has been such a huge support of the WDIA system. I know I played through it at Colorado State, and I'm now coaching through it at UCLA. The coaches and the volunteers and the amount of time the girls spend. Oh, huge goal right there.
Mary Ruttam has the first 2 goals for Navy, and thanks for the visit.
Thank you.
Ann Carbonetti, U.S. Lacrosse Women's Division Director, and Navy trying to come back 2 straight for the midshipmen to make it 6-2 in the championship. Team for the CAA Championship, U.S. Lacrosse Coach of the Week.
Amanda Toey coming off tough off that draw situation. Navy actually now leading draw control 5-2, which is surprising, but Cal Poly playing so tough, they're getting the turnovers and the Brittany Jones goal.
Scoring in transition, Brittany Jones tacks on her 4th goal, making it 7-2 Cal Poly with 7:18 to go in the first. and just shrugs on the Navy sideline.
The midfield really helping that out in transition. You see Bo right there with a nice feed. Janelle was open in the right spot, puts on a good move, and then boom, right past Nieves for her 4th goal. You know, Janelle really wants this championship. It's her senior year, but you can bet Brittany wants it just as bad for her sister to go out on top.
Janelle and Julie Friesen, the seniors, Cal Poly, they said from the day they showed up to play lacrosse at Cal Poly, it was, we're not going to be the senior class who goes out not winning a championship. They said there's a lot of pressure when you're at Cal Poly to keep that streak alive. As Navy shuffles goalies again, it's Natalie Blandon who started the game in goal for Navy, coming back in after Nieves gives up the goal to Brittany Jones. Tim Scholl trying to find somebody to slow down the Jones sisters in the Cal Poly attack.
Right there, you have a check in the sphere on that call. You can just see Cal Poly continually attacking again. Navy winning the draw controls, but they're not about to let him just take it straight to the goal. They're trying to really slow him down and get him in a settled situation so they can set up their zone.
Rolick charges in, but the Cal Poly defense collapses on the freshman midfielder. So back around for the midshipmen. A team 15-0 on the year against WDIA teams, so against club teams. They're actually 18-6 overall, but all those 6 losses to varsity programs. As Towie misses the shot inside against Rupnik.
And not just varsity programs, they got to test their competition for next year a little bit. Playing in the Division I Patriot League, they had games against American, and they actually had a win in Division I against Howard this year. So a little bit of a confidence boost. And, you know, and talking to Cindy, I asked her a little bit about that transition year. Is it one? And she said, no, absolutely not. You know, we're ready to roll. We're ready to go Division I. These girls are. They're conditioned. They're trained. They're in the Navy, for goodness sakes. Every single day is a regiment for them.
And even a lot of the seniors, like Elise Chapdelaine, talking about the legacy that she's going to leave for Navy lacrosse, as Rupnik gets the save.
A little shooken up on that one. See her kind of tossing her helmet. I heard that up here. Did you hear that?
That popped pretty good. We're laughing. I don't think Carolyn Rupnik is.
No, absolutely not. That ball hurts when it hits your helmet at the speed it's going.
Off the shot from Rudham, who has the only 2 Navy goals of the game. A 7-2 Cal Poly advantage.
You were talking about Chapdelaine leaving this year, and she said it's really bittersweet. She knows she's leaving a legacy and leaving the WDIA. Of course they want to do that going out on top. And I think that Rutham's trying to get him there with our 3rd straight goal.
Mary Rudham has all 3 goals for Navy. She has been the only midshipman to sneak one past the Cal Poly D and Carolyn Rupnik.
That's a great cut and just a nice little quick stick. Great feed by Erin Rolick.
Mary Rudham, the freshman from Annapolis St. Mary's, will be a critical part of this transition from WDIA to NCAA Division I lacrosse for the Navy midshipmen here in the final game for Navy as a club lacrosse team. She has all 3 goals for the midshipmen. And so after a 6-0 start for Cal Poly, it has been Rudham and Navy scoring 3 of the last 4 goals to make it a 7-3 game with just over 5 to go in the first.
Navy's just trying to play the possession game now. They're the ones that are kind of hot, kind of on a roll, get the ball in the hands that it needs to be in, and that's number 20, Mary Rudham. And also, might as well try out Erin Rolick, but Brittany Jones just too quick in picking up the ground ball.
A reminder, stay tuned for the Nissan Halftime Show. We'll send you back to the field house for the Nissan Lacrosse Halftime Show. 4:35 away from the half. Cal Poly a 6-0 start. Trying to win its 7th straight WDIA National Championship. 24-0 whole time in WDIA tournament play. Every year that there has been a U.S. Lacrosse WDIA tournament, it has been won by Cal Poly, going after their 7th straight. Safe to say that Cal Poly has dominated this tournament, Jenny?
Safe to say they've had domination, and definitely safe to say the girls are right and they are the hated ones. monkey is on their back. If you can imagine the pressure year in and year out to continue repeating as national champs, and not only that, but going undefeated while doing so this season.
First year of this tournament, 2001 in St. Louis, it was these two teams meeting in the championship game. Obviously, Cal Poly's been there every year. This is Navy's first appearance in the championship since that 2001 matchup with Cal Poly. CSTV keeps the championships coming this weekend. Saturday, noon Eastern, exclusive coverage of the Division III Women's Lacrosse Championship from Geneva, New York. NCAA Championship Lacrosse on CSTV. Cal Poly wins the battle of the midfield again, and back come Brittany Jones and the Mustangs.
Utman's huge at the midfield today. She's really muscling up and powering up, getting her feet in the right position to make a good check. Right there, not such a good check.
Giving Brittany Jones another opportunity, 4 goals already for the sophomore. Jones misses just wide. Backed up by Cal Poly, so they'll get the restart. It's Janelle Jones, her senior sister, who's gonna start the Cal Poly attack from behind the cage. And again, it's Natalie Blandon in goal, who started for Navy, was relieved by Nieves, and now it's Blandon.
Good opportunity for Cal Poly here with 2:22 left to just kind of settle the ball, settle their minds, work the ball around, get a chance to go into halftime, keeping a larger lead.
And obviously another goal for Cal Poly here would swing the momentum right back to the Mustangs.
Absolutely.
Looking for Brittany Jones on the crease as Navy packs in the defense now on the sophomore, who has 4 goals in the game.
Navy's played pretty conservative defense today. They haven't gone out too much past the 12. They're not pressuring too much on ball, but like you said, they better figure out what to do with number 22.
So Cal Poly fans out its attack. This is Jennifer Bowe holding at the top of the attack zone. Over to Janelle Jones. Just over a minute and a half remaining in the first half. Jones, the feet inside, just wide from Caitlin Chandler. Backed up again by Cal Poly. And notice that Blandon is way out of goal. Now she'll back up to just behind the cage on the restart. This is Julie Friesen trying to set things up from behind the cage for Cal Poly. Friesen now cutting in, dodging down low the bounce shot. Ground ball scooped up by Burtis for Cal Poly. Rolling free again, and Navy controls. It's Chapdelaine who scoops it up, fouled as she brings it into the restraining area.
We haven't really had a chance to see Chapdelaine's speed, but I am telling you, Carter, if she comes out of the races here, she throws the ball. That's a smart decision, though. She's really been saving up her energy.
Rolls out off Navy, so with exactly a minute to go in the first, Cal Poly's going to get it right back.
Smart decision, but a tough pass for anyone to handle, but for Erin Rawlik, just goes right over her head. Another turnover.
Julie Friesen clears it ahead. Brittany Jones sprinting to the cage on the wing. Finds Bowe, shot low, saved by Blandon. That gives a nice rise out of the fans here to root on Navy in the championship game, with Blandon making the save before the half, but then the pass sails right out of bounds on the clear.
Consistent mistakes